the way. That was like 6 fucking hours. That went way longer than I thought it was going to go. I thought that was going to be nice and short. And for those who saw this game, I never really gave any of my thought processes, obviously, because I was playing. So I figured I'd kind of go over this a little bit. Not a fan of the weed, by the way, Sniper. There's a lot of like mistakes I thought of and stuff, and like, yeah. So we'll kind of go over my thought process here. Going into this game, I actually felt pretty confident when I saw Simtom go for stone. So, I mean, we'll skip the beginning. There's not much to talk about here, right? This is a generic opening. What's up, baby dog? Very generic opening here. Nothing too fancy. We advance. He gets stone. So I gather the stone. So the way I think English mirror matchups play out, by the way, is I think 2TC is, in my opinion, probably one of the worst build orders. At least I feel like it is. Again, just my opinion. Because I think a fast castle is better than 2TC. Although I will say I think 2TC can hold off against a 1TC longbow all-in, though. I did do a little bit of pressure here. I did this to force out some units. It is unfortunate that I did not scout this, by the way. If I scouted this down here with this scout immediately, I probably would have gotten a couple Vil kills, or at least maybe one. And he would have delayed this by quite a bit, I think. Because, I mean, it's still only halfway. Or I guess it's over halfway. And I just kind of stick here and attack these villagers. And I think that was unfortunate for me. I really wish I'd scouted down here, obviously. And I almost do, but if I had, I think I could have definitely done more damage than poking here. But as we can see, I'm just going fast castle, because like I said, I think the fast castle is better. He is going to get a little bit of a villager lead, but I'm going to be able to grab the relics. I'm going to have complete map control with knights. I force him to do various things. Did I check the stone amount? In the game, I'm pretty sure I did. I knew he had enough. Yes, I did check it. I did make sure he had enough. So as you can see, we're going to go in Castle Age, 2 stables. So we'll just kind of fast forward a little bit through here. And since I have map control and I'm not really worried about him at all, because I know 2TC. It's going to take a while to get to castle. You're not going to be able to rush it. You have to, especially if you don't, then they have to make some spears. And we're going to see something here in a moment. One thing I should state is I think I could have added a few more longbows with my knights. Because right here, I actually think I could have potentially pretty much just won the game right here if I'd been a little bit smarter. Because I do bring some here, but it's not really enough. Because I lose these very stupidly. I'm losing them to Town Center Fire and these longbows, which is really, really bad. And then I do sloppy night control as here as well. So what I should have done, for starters, not let these take as much damage and pull them back. I've already got my monastery out, going for relics. Yeah, that's exactly it. I just needed to go longbow spear, or not longbow spear, longbow knight, and just camp this gold. And he's never going to get to Castle Age. I mean, he's there now, but that's what I needed to do. But my thought process in this, and the reason why I didn't do this really, I didn't realize it till too late in the game, was that this was his only gold. The other golds were out here, and obviously his second gold is really right here. If I had realized that, I would have totally stopped. I would have focused way more on this instead of bringing 2 knights that have barely any health over here. So that was a little big mistake on my part. And I accidentally made a horseman that I lost. I got just a very sloppy control here, which is very unfortunate. I do want to state, to give myself a little bit of credit here, this was my first game of the day, and I had just woken up like 20 minutes before this. So it's not like I was warmed up and playing peak condition. But he has enough to age up. He does have a little bit of a villager lead. But you do have to remember, I am getting relics. Again, being a little slow about it, unfortunately. And I do kill some villagers here. Again, not enough. It's still a 6 villager lead, but the relics are going to more than make up for it when I remember to grab the rest later on. And he's not going to be on 3 TC, he's going to be on 2. But then you can kind of see I accidentally rallied my longbows here, and they were never going across the map. If I'd had these longbows already here, I could have obviously sniped these spearmen, and then I could have kept them off gold again. Although I think this actually does hit that. But anyway, let's go forward. I still think in this game I'm in a much better position than him, by the way. I think I'm in a way, way better position. I mean, if you look, he's got a 6 villager lead. We have a 20-1 military lead. We've got more knights, longbows. We have complete map control. I tried that core, actually. I tried men-at-arms, but it actually didn't work out for me in a practice game. It actually went the opposite of what I expected. I thought men-at-arms would actually be the choice, but I think knights are just way better. And so at this point in the game, I realized that he only has this gold here, and their others are out here. So my goal from this point was, obviously I can't kill I can't really break into his base because of this. I could have tried to attack from here, which may have actually been a really good idea when I think about it. If I had gone this way, taken out these walls, I could have stopped this gold income, and then I could have just taken him off farms here for the entire game, and probably won that way. Because he doesn't have that much room in his base. I could at least deny these, and at least most of these, which would just really hurt him, and then deny his gold income here. I think that would have been a really good idea. I didn't think about it till after the game, of course, but that is another thing I could have done. But so my whole thought process from this point in the game was deny this gold and deny this gold. And I have a scout here, and then I have this knight. I actually leave this knight over here with the intention of making sure he doesn't sneak this gold. And this is way too far back of a tower. This tower should have been up here. I don't know why I put it back there. But yeah, so as you see, we're already at 4 relics. I believe we get all 5, by the way. And he's going men-at-arms, which we're going to see. It doesn't end up working out well for him until later in the game when I already fucked up enough. Oh, and I will say, my biggest mistake this game, not finishing this wall. I didn't finish this wall because I was like, in the game I was like, fuck it. He's not, all I have to do is worry about raids. I don't really need to worry about it. But me being lazy and not finishing this wall is why I lose this game, by the way. Just building a wall here to here, and I don't lose to what I'm going to lose to. And I don't throw this game. Because you're going to watch this fight. I just absolutely crush this fight. Force him back. We have double the military. He's running very low on gold, so this is about to be out. We have a knight going here. We're going to have siege in a moment, and then he does have siege. Yeah, I threw this game really bad, Sniper. You have no idea. Like, this is one of the biggest throws I've ever done. To be fair, also, another thing I should have done, I should have been taking the sacred sites. Yeah, this is a really bad throw by me. This game actually tilted me. Because I threw it, and I'll tell you when I lose. We get some springholds out, so we're just going to fast forward. And we take another, like, this fight goes pretty well for me. As you can see, we're still double his military, right? He's only ahead by 7 villagers. Again, the relics more than take up for that. But here's where I lose. Shit, I didn't see if I think he shot through here, by the way, but I'm not sure. No, I don't see a fallen tree, so never mind, he didn't. Anyway, so what he did is he snuck these 2 villagers, or these, I think he has 2, yeah, 2 villagers right through here, and then I just kind of lose because of it. This ends up doing a lot more damage than it should. We have double his military, almost, and then, yeah, this is kind of where we start throwing the game. I took this a little too lightly. And so he just has these barracks, he's moving his villagers, just kind of doing this constant attacks, and you're going to see the villager lead just grow more and more. And then he does go for this here, which actually I don't know how many villagers he loses, but he finishes this. No, I'm not. If I had done full walls, I don't think this happens without me noticing. And then I win this game easy. But from here, I just start falling apart because I have to deal with these raids. And I do burn these down, but he had 2 villagers in 2 different locations, and I don't think I get both of them. And then you can just see my villager lead just falling more and more and more. And then this allows him to kind of push back here, which is where I can't reinforce my army to kill him because I have to deal with these raids. He just ends up killing a lot of villagers. We're at 82 villagers. He's at a 40 villager lead, and at this point the game's pretty much over. His raids have just done too much damage at this point. And then we just end up kind of pushing back and losing. This is what ends up happening. All because I was too lazy to wall this middle right here. There's not really too much else to talk about this game because I just threw it, right? We had such a good lead, and then we just let those 2 villagers in because we didn't wall. And from here, what I probably should have done is, like I said, yeah, I already said that, Core. I should have gotten Sacred Sites a lot earlier. I should have gotten the Sacred Sites immediately. It was a big mistake not to get those. If I just walled this center, I don't think this happens. I think I would notice it, or if he tries to chop through, I think I would have noticed it, but maybe I'm wrong. But I feel like I would have, I would hope. But he was able to sneak in. I didn't see the villagers coming at all because they came in right through here. They snuck around here, went all the way this way, so none of my buildings had vision, none of my units saw them, and then bam. And that's why I lost this game. Literally was because of this. If I don't let this happen, he loses 100% because I was about to kill him. I was probably 2 minutes away from killing him. 2 to 3 minutes, I think. Because I was about to have trebuchets to take the white tower down. And we do this kind of like, this is just a desperate last attack. I'm like just praying to God I can kill him with it, but unfortunately his economy is just too good for me to do at this point, and thus we lose the game. Definitely a very frustrating first game of the day for me. I was really pissed losing this game. And there's not really too much else to talk about because I stay in the game, but I know I'm dead at this point, right? We're at 60 villagers at 33 minutes into the game. And we never really get above just because, again, he just keeps... His economy is just so good, he can just constantly do this. So, if you're ever curious, walling's important, and that's why you should make sure to do it. And thus, we lose our first game when we should have won that. The 3 TC, his third TC was super late and would have made no difference in the game if he never got in my base. So that was a big throw by me. That one actually really pissed me off. I think I ranted about that a little bit on stream about how stupid I was to not wall the middle. Not walling the middle was was a very good lesson, I guess you could say. Don't be lazy. Okay, going into this second game was Ottomans versus Abbasid. And I'm just going to say this right now. I knew I won this game the moment we played it. The moment I saw this matchup, I knew the game was over. I have had a lot of Abbasid or Ottoman versus Abbasid play lately, versus really good players, and I've beat them consistently. I don't think I've ever lost Ottoman versus Abbasid yet. So in this game, I already had a game plan. I knew exactly what I was going to do, and it worked out pretty much how I wanted it to. Yeah, it's just laziness, no Socraton. You should always be walling. You really should. I hate walls, so I don't do it as much as I should, but yeah. So this game I felt very good going into it, despite being tilted from the last one. And we just kind of do a typical opening. We do the fast military school, go on gold, put I think 9 or 10 on food, 3 gold. You know, just harass. Nothing too out of the ordinary for this matchup. You just poke and prod. Advance with the berry landmark. I was actually really surprised he built this tower, by the way. And I actually think this was, for me, I was like, okay, I think, as far as I'm concerned, I got a better return on my investment than anything else just because of this tower. Forcing 100 wood early is... I don't know, felt good to me, but I mean, I don't think it really mattered that much, but I was really surprised he built that early tower. And so then for what I do, for those curious on what is, I usually go for the military school first before the stable, but I didn't have the stone yet, so I built the stable first, then the military school. You want to get these military schools before you start making units and get production buildings because you want these ASAP. It's free units, it's like an extra economic boost and makes your feudal push a lot stronger. You're not going to be able to stop him from getting 2 or 3 TCs if he decides to go 3 TCs. That's just something you've got to accept but not panic about because it doesn't matter. I think I actually get 2 villager kills here, by the way. So that felt kind of nice to get a couple villager kills. Make a couple archery ranges, make a barracks. You want to add in the spearmen because you don't want to be overwhelmed by the horsemen. So having some spearmen with a majority Sipahi... Is it Sipahi or Spahi? I actually don't know. The Sipahi and some spears, it just makes their push a lot stronger, and it makes it so that you don't have to worry about horsemen killing your archers if you're Spahi or somewhere else. So things are kind of going how I want. I did scout the 3rd TC, and I was kind of like, okay, this is what I was expecting, a 2 to 3 TC play. I was feeling really good about it. I was like, okay, this is like my practice games. Opponent's doing what I'm expecting. He's going to go for archer horseman, and then he ends up adding a barracks. We're just going to flood him with Spahi, archers, and spearmen ourselves. Us being Ottomans, we're just going to pump our units out. We can already see we're at 21 military. He has a forward gold here as well, so we know that his other gold's here and here. And I did know about this food, which you're going to notice, and this food, which you'll see why I notice it. Or what I do about it is I kind of start raiding with these horsemen to prevent this exactly. And this kind of goes exactly how I wanted. Like, I'm like, okay, sweet. 2 more villager kills. 3 more villager kills. Denied. Are archers horse the plus? They are, but I think you want to mix with spears as well. And we're just going for these techs first before we get our siege engineering. Because we don't... I mean, we're starting to get the wood for siege engineering for rams, but we don't need it quite yet. And then he does a couple raids, which is fine. So what I end up usually doing, by the way, is I'll usually leave a spear or 2 behind so that when they try to do these raids, it doesn't do anything. And I think I do end up doing that. I leave 2 spears behind because you don't... It's just so I don't have to worry about the raids. I will also say I use my vizier point for sheep, and the reason I use it for sheep is because it's longer for me not having to worry about raids. I have a longer food source, and it does improve your gold gathering, though that's not the main reason I do it. I do it for just so I can stay under my TC, so I don't have to worry about getting raided or protecting my villagers from raids. Now, taking this would have been okay. I could have actually taken this earlier. I think I should have taken this earlier, but I just didn't want to deal with raids or potential raids. I want to make sure I can focus my attention on the attack, on my micro, and not have to worry about dealing with raids while trying to micro. It is my thought process behind it. I do think I pushed a little too early here, though. And I think that was a little bit of a mistake. I take out the first tower, but I believe I lose this ram, or I almost lose it. I think you should wait for 2 to 3 rams. I don't think you want to do it with just 1. But as you can see here, just if you look at our military, it's just 61 to 10. He's already on a farm transition because we've been denying this food source for so long. I also have an archer here, so I know when he takes this food source. Both his deer are in the front. So my priority was to deny food, because you deny food, you force the farm transition, which is a lot of wood, even with the eco, even though it's 56 per farm, and then it slows down his military because he's investing wood into farms instead of military, right? And production buildings. Like, this spawn was really good for me. All his food sources were up front. And then at this point, he's dead. I mean, we have 60 military to 15. We have a couple rams. Why is it 56 wood per farm? Because he got the Fertile Crescent, which houses are cheaper, farms are cheaper, town centers are cheaper. Anything eco-wise is cheaper. And then, like I said, this is how all my practice games went, by the way, is no matter what the Abbasid player did, they were never able to hold my Feudal all-in. And we tried a few things. Now, it's not to say it's impossible. Like, if I did this against Marine Lord, would I be surprised if he could hold my Feudal all-in? I wouldn't be surprised at all. I would not be surprised if he knows how to do it and other Abbasid players don't. But as of right now, I as an Abbasid player don't know how to hold this all in, and facing against Abbasid, I don't know how they can hold this. And again, I got a really good spawn too, right? Like I said, all his food is up front, so it's very easy to deny. And then and his villager lead isn't that big either, and then he just kind of dies. Like, there's not much he can do here. He knows he's dead, and he GG's here in just a second. It went exactly as I'd expected it to go. So second game felt good. Now for the third game. The third game here, before I kind of... Oh, that's not the third game. The third game here is ended up being a big mistake by me. I fucked up the draft. So I forgot that he banned my HRE. I thought he banned a different one of my civs, and I don't even know what civ I thought he banned, but I forgot. So we did a civ pick. I picked HRE. He picked Roos. And then he's like, oh yeah, your HRE's banned. And I was like, oh shit, you're right. So we got, and he's like, I don't care, play HRE, but I felt bad. I didn't feel right about that. So I actually did talk to an admin, and they said it's up to Simtom. So the rule states this is what's supposed to happen. Simtom can pick my civ because I fucked up. So Simtom could have chosen me, or could have made me play Malians or play any civ that I hadn't played already. But he was very insistent on me playing HRE since I picked it. He didn't care. And the admin said, if that's what you want, then I could play HRE. So I fucked up my draft. Simtom was really cool about it. He let me play HRE. So, you know, he could have gone for the easy win. I still think this actually was an easy win for him. But I'm going to be honest, I was glad to lose this game because of it, because I would have felt really dirty winning a game 3 with a civ I'm not supposed to play. Now that being said, I still tried my best, but that doesn't take away my thought process there. And I even told him that in game. When I lost the game, I was like, you know, this is the first time I've ever played a tournament, and I was glad I lost. Because I would have felt really bad about it. So, this game, I actually think is also a very good... I think this map is good for Roos. I also think Roos is better than HRE. I think Roos versus HRE is Roos' favorite. I think this is one of Roos' really good matchups in the game. At least in my opinion. So... so that may be another reason why he didn't care, because of that, but this is Golden Heights. Hey, Vortex, thank you for the raid. Hopefully you had a good stream. Welcome, everyone. But yeah, Simtom was really... Either way, whatever the reason, I just want to say, yeah, Simtom was really cool about it, and like I said, it was the first time I've ever been happy to lose a game in a tournament, so... I messed this up, by the way. I meant to place a wall here so that he didn't wall this dock off. Because as Roos, what they typically do is to avoid this situation is they wall here, here, and here. And this prevents Spearmen from getting in. Because by the time my Spearmen get in, he's Feudal Age, he makes an attack ship, and then my Spearmen are useless. So I messed this up really bad, and I didn't even finish it, so... Kind of a stupid thought process for me here not to finish that, or not to make it correctly. Because if I make a wall from here, or like make a little wall here and then make a wall here, he can't wall it in, and then I can kill it with Spearman. And then I just kind of win the water from there. Instead, like I said, I kind of fucked that up. Ironically enough, oh, maybe not. Maybe that tree blocks it. So I try to use a villager to chop around, but again... Since he's not investing into Spearmen, he's already almost at the Castle Age, or Feudal Age, so it didn't matter. Like, I get in there, I kill the villager. I knew he was almost Feudal, by the way, so I wasn't surprised. That's why I only invested in 3 Spearmen when I realized what was going on. This second dock should have been made a lot sooner. I could have made this in the Dark Age, but I kind of just didn't do it. And I think if I had 2 docks here, I can fight water better. But with 1 dock and being behind a couple ships already, because Rus can transform their fishing ships, I kind of just lost water. And not having a second dock to be able to make another ship, I have to give it up and let him win the water. I think if I get this second dock up ASAP, I can start, pumping out hulks and galleys at the same time. And I think I win water because he's only on 1 dock himself. But that's not what ends up happening. I end up just kind of losing water. I really quickly realized it too. I'm like, yeah, there's no way I'm winning water here. Maybe I could have tried sneaking a dock here, but at this point I kind of gave up on water. My whole game plan at this point was to try to go castle, try to get relics, though I knew that was also a long shot. Maybe I should have gone 2 TC here. When I look at this game, I actually think going 2 TC probably would have been the better play. When I lost water rather than go fast castle, because he's doing what any Rus player would do. I could have, I knew he was going to wall the relics, because not walling the relics is just really silly. There's no reason not to do this when you have map control, because if you wall the relics, they have 2,500 health now. It takes a long time to burn through them. And it's not that expensive. It's so worth doing this. And I knew he was going to do this from the beginning of the game. So I think going 2 TC would have been better. If he walls that dock, transport ship. I did actually think about doing transport ship. But I think I just decided not to invest. How much is a transport ship anyway? 100 wood. I probably should have just done the transport method. Would have been a better chance than what I ended up doing. I did think about it for a second, but I was like, I don't think it's worth it. But I actually think it probably is. As other good players often realize, it's never good to give up water. While true, you do have to realize when you can't fight water. In this game, with how the situation played out, I had to give it up. I could not fight it. If I invest more in water, I'm even further behind because I'm not going to win the water from where I was in this game. With 1 dock against a demo, 2 Lodias, and an attack ship. I think, is the Lodia the... I don't know which one is the... that's the archer ship. Okay, 2 archer ships and a Hulk ship. I'm never going to fight this off with 1 dock. It's impossible, unless he fucks up badly. So in this game, I had to give up water because of how it played out. If I had 2 docks, I can keep fighting water. With only 1 dock against 3 ships, though, it's... no. And this game's over, obviously. We lost water. Our relics are getting walled in. I don't really have anything to stop that. Like, even if I did make an men-at-arm to try to stop this, but he already had knights out, because again, that's the right play to do. You just go knights. So he just kind of walls. By the time we hit Castle Age, he's already there. We got a little lucky, though, in the fact that he didn't realize this wasn't walled. Or that this wasn't walled by a forest, so I was able to get 1 relic. It doesn't matter in the end, though. From here, knowing the relics are walled, what's the best choice here? I'm not entirely sure how to play this matchup as much at this point. Like I said, I think I should have gone second TC immediately. That's what I should have done, in my opinion. If I go 2 TC immediately, I think I have a better chance at winning, or at least taking the relics. But at this point, he's got total map control. He's got better food income. He only has 3 ships, though, and I don't think he makes any more. So despite having a water advantage, he actually... this is worth 6 ships, but still, I feel like he could have made more. I actually didn't realize he made so few. Only 3 is actually pretty, I feel like he can make at least 5 or 6. I feel this is what you... 5. I think you want 5? Because that equals 10 ships. So I think that's what you want. But anyway, so I'm trying to, use knights, and he's doing the right thing. He's adding spearmen. He has archers. And so I try to mix in men-at-arms and knights and just try to hope it prays off. But at that point, I think he goes castle or he gets close to it. There's really not too much to talk about from here. My whole strategy and build was pretty bad. My reaction to losing water was not the right decision, because if I have 2 TCs, I actually think I could be in a decent position, considering he only has... now he has 4 fishing ships. But yeah, we try to do this, and he realizes his advantage. We just don't have a big enough army. And we kind of stay for a little bit, but the game's over at this point. But I didn't realize he went so few fishing ships. I actually think if I'd gone 2 TC, I actually think I have a way better chance of winning than what I do this game. I don't think 1 TC fast castle is good against Rus, and I've thought that since before this patch. But I did it anyway because I was hoping for a gamble, I guess. And then he gets Castle Age. Obviously, we're behind by 31 villagers, and then we GG and we leave the game. And we go to the losers bracket. Now, like I said, losing that third game, I was fine with. Like I said, with the drafting mistake and everything, I deserved to lose that game. And frankly, that series should have never gone to a game 3. I should have 2-0'd and lost to B. That's what should have happened, but that's what happens. So then I play against Dark in the losers bracket, and I was very happy with the Civ matchup. He picked Malians, and I think Ottomans is, even pre-patch, I think Ottomans is very good into Malians. So I was feeling pretty good about this matchup going into it. He did play it differently than I expected, though. I definitely wasn't sure how he'd play it, but he definitely didn't play like I thought he would. And I'm just going to do this, you know, this is going to be a very standard opening. So I'm just going to skip forward. So, by the way, to go into my thought process into this game, I was already going to do feudal aggression because there's no reason not to do... I feel like being aggressive against Malians is just a good response with a civ like Ottomans. I don't think I would benefit from a fast castle very much, but... So my thought process was I was going to be feudal aggressive. If he was going to fast castle, I was going to try to, you know, stop that from spiraling out of control was going to be my goal, but he ends up not doing that. And again, this game actually plays out very similarly to the strategy I do as Abbasid. So in this game, I scout that he goes warrior scouts. So I add a barracks, obviously, because I want to fight the warrior scouts, and I assume that sofas are a possibility as well, right? And again, I use my Vizier point on the same thing as I did versus Abbasid. I use it on the sheep because I just prefer that safe food eco, so I don't have to worry about getting raided until my economy's better and I can set up a better defense. Like, I don't want to be running out of sheep right now and being on these berries, or I don't want to run out of these sheep right now and go to these hunts when I don't really have the economy to do what I want to do, like in terms of making a couple towers or something. It would just slow off my push. So that's my thought process to why I do this in this game. So then he's going archer, he's adding in sofas, and we're kind of going a spear, archer, spahi mix. I think I'm a little late on adding a meter, mater? I can't remember how it's pronounced now, but something like that. The meter? But when I saw that he was committing to Feudal Age, I felt pretty good about that. Because I do think Ottoman Feudal is stronger than Malian Feudal. And maybe I'm wrong on that, but that's just my thought process as of right now. That might change in the future. I feel like... I just feel like Ottomans have such a strong Feudal Age that against most civs, just because of those free units, like it really adds up really quickly. It is pretty crazy how quickly they add up. So knowing what he's doing, this just ends up being a feudal battle, and my thought process is to try to kill him. There's really not much to talk about in terms of my thought process. We're going double spears because I saw sofas, and I need a way to deal with sofas. Get a big archer mass, add in spahi, and just try to use that tri-comp to defeat the archer slash sofa mass that he ends up doing. And then he's trying to raid with some warrior scouts. I think no, he does not get a villager kill with that. I ended up doing some micro mistakes in this game, I would say. I kind of kept messing up my spearman control because I kept putting them in the wrong control group. And actually, at this point in the game, I was a little worried I might have I was going to lose too much, but then I remembered I'm by my base, we're fine, and we end up being okay, obviously. I was actually surprised, by the way, at how hard he committed to my base, because I think this benefited me so much. Not only do I have reinforcements right here, but I took out his sofa mass, which is really, really nice. Once you take out that sofa mass, it's kind of like taking out a night mass. It does take a lot more time to get that mass back up. Sofas are 120 food and 60 gold. They may not be as expensive as a knight, but they're still pretty expensive, you know, compared to like Spahi and the Horseman. A Spahi's 110 food, 20 wood. So I felt really good about that trade, and from there, I think the game just kind of spirals into a victory for me, I think. I think at this point, the game, I'm not going to say it's like one-sided, so to speak, but I think from here, it just took me a while to kill him, but I think the game was over for a while. I mean, look at the military. We have 30 more military. We're even on villagers, although I do lose a few right here. The only thing I would worry about is him getting Castle Age. And I think I could have microed this a lot better. Losing the meta, again, is really bad. But we still have such a significant military lead. And so my point with these Rams, by the way, is to kill his infrastructure. I kill his military production buildings, he can't make military, right? So then he just kind of dies because of that. Like, if you look at his wood count, he's only at 300 wood. Well, he has to invest 150, I think it's 150, yep, 150 to remake stables, to remake archery ranges. So that's kind of why I'm focusing those down, rather than trying to go for his TC, which I do later, but... because you can kind of see he keeps having to remake his infrastructure. He's making another archery range, another stable. He keeps losing his archery ranges. Like, he just built this, just lost it again. His military is just so low because he can't make military very much because he keeps losing his production. And then he starts losing villagers, as you can see. And we're just pumping. We are pumping here. We're like, yeah, let's go. He tries to make a tower, insta-dead. Tries to take a fight, even under his TC, it doesn't matter. We're just destroying here. So yeah, there's not too much to talk about my thought process here, because the thought process is just kill him. Take out his production, and then we just kind of win. Because look, he has no wood now, right? So every production he loses is... he's not remaking those anymore. He doesn't have the wood for it. I do want to say, you know what's funny about this? Probably 10 seconds before he makes this, I checked this spot to make sure none of the deer were dead, and they weren't. So I built my mill here, and then I didn't send military. But if I had seen the deer dead, I would have sent Spa here to kill these. But I didn't see them because he did it 10 seconds after I looked. But as you can see, he's got a lot of food. Oh, I never knew this. So he's actually trying to go Castle Age right now, but it's not going to matter. We go Castle Age. We start adding in knights. But the game's over, right? He's got 17 military to 73. We're just going for a landmark victory at this point, and then he GG's. Not too much to talk about on that one. That one was pretty basic game. Just a very feudal, aggressive, feudal aggression fun. So while I was waiting for Dark to come down, or Dark, who I assumed was going to be Dark, I was surprised that Dark beat B. He took a game from B, if you didn't know. It was Ottomans versus Abbasid, so like I said, I think that matchup is very, very, very Ottoman favored, so that made a little bit more sense, but just to put that out there, that not even B was able to hold off the Ottoman attack that Dark did. And so then my next game is against Zalami. And he went Delhi. This is on Rocky Canyon. This matchup, I felt... I haven't played Ottoman versus Delhi very often, but I thought, or from what I know, someone told me that Zalami was probably going to fast castle because he doesn't like feudal age Delhi. So I thought he was going to fast castle here, especially when I saw the 5 villagers on gold. So I was like, okay, he's going to fast castle, which is why I fast castled this game. Shouldn't you ban auto if you're playing Abbasid? Well, you only get so many Civ bans, right? And they want to ban I think every player banned my HRE except for Dark. Dark did not ban my H'ery. So this game I do not play the same as I have in the earlier games, because I kind of went into the thought process that there's a good chance he's going to try to fast castle, and when I saw 5 villagers on gold, I thought that's what he was going to do, so I didn't commit much to military and went fast castle myself. Turns out in the case that he actually did make units. And we're just annoying here. Nothing too special, you know, typical Ottoman things. So, in a moment here, we're going to see where I thought he was fast castling. Should be very soon. Or did I might have already fast forwarded past it, but at some point he puts like 5 villagers on gold. Unless my eyes are playing tricks on me, which is very possible. Maybe his archers were running past and I thought they were gold, but... But I don't see any villagers on gold. Well, I don't know. I either passed it, or I was seeing things. But either way, as you can see, I'm saving up for Castle Age. Because I assumed that's what Zalami was going to do. I could have... Obviously, when it comes to my thought process in Ottomans versus Delhi, I don't think it's a bad matchup for Delhi necessarily. At least in my games, I've won plenty of Delhi versus Ottomans as Delhi. But that was in Feudal Wars. Castle Age, I do think Ottoman might be... I think Ottoman is probably favored in Castle Age. Well, pre-patch. This patch, I'm not sure. I don't know enough about the new Delhi to give my opinion on that kind of balance. But I think the fast castle ended up being kind of lucky for me, because I don't think Zalami realized... I mean, I haven't seen him scout me in any way in terms of knowing that I'm fast castling. So this worked to my benefit, because he's making a bunch of units. He's walling the sacred sites, and instead of taking all 3 at the same time, he's taking them one by one in a very slow manner, because if I commit to feudal, it is a fight for sacred sites, and it's not super easy to get them as Delhi. So this kind of worked in my favor, in the fact that he didn't scout this. Because I think if he did scout it, he would have definitely taken these sacred sites a lot earlier. Because if you notice, we're at 10 minutes in the game, and he only has 1 sacred site, which is, he'd rather be on 2 or 3. So then we start pumping out knights, well, once we hit Castle Age. We do a little bit of raids here, get a few villagers. And I made the imams with my Vizier point to get those relics ASAP. I was hoping to get 4, and he almost scouted this, by the way. Almost. So close, but I'm able to sneak away. Now, from this point, I do think Zalami made a mistake overcommitting right here. When he saw I hit Castle Age, I think he should have pulled this army back ASAP. I don't think he should have kept this here, because he ends up losing all of it to a few knights. It's a pretty painful loss to lose that many units against 3 or 4 knights. But he does have all 3 sacred sites. Again, I wasn't worried about a sacred site victory. This one's right next to my base. I know he didn't wall it, so I don't really have to worry about that. We're also getting free units, so again, don't have to worry about that. And then I'm just kind of scouting to try to raid. He does end up denying this, and I make a mistake here. Because he's Castle Age as well now. This is Zalami core. So, for starters, I didn't actually know he was going to be able to do this. Second, I thought I was going to kill this, but so I end up losing a knight here. And by the time I realized it, I should have deleted it, but I didn't because I was too stupid to. Yeah, and he ends up getting my first mangonel for free. That actually was, I was like, shit, that's not good. But we do end up securing 3 relics. And at this point, so this is at this point in the game, I'm not feeling bad, but I'm not feeling good about my situation yet. I'm in a kind of, I'm not sure how this game's going to go yet mode, because while Delhi is Castle Age, Ottoman Castle Age is insane. They have one of the, it is absolutely insane to me how strong Ottoman Castle Age is. And we're going to go into a big mistake I make in my last game today about that too. He ends up killing these 3 villagers. But we're actually still ahead by villagers because we've raided it. We've actually killed a decent amount of villagers by raids. We end up taking this fight here, winning, you know, decapping the Sacred Site. Nothing too fancy. We've got 3 relics. Could have taken the Sacred Site a lot earlier. We're pretty even military-wise. So really this game kind of comes down to a couple engagements. Right now, I feel like I'm in probably a pretty good spot. I think this fight goes... Yeah, that fight went a little worse than I expected. By the way, these go by really quick now. They do not take very long to upgrade these anymore. The mangonel does turn the favor, so I win this first fight. So I felt good about this first fight. Like this first big fight right here that we're about to have. Because I think I win this one pretty handily. And I actually was like, okay, maybe I just kind of can win with the counterattack. But I actually didn't kill as much as I thought. He actually does get away with a few more than I expected. And if you look at our militaries, he's actually ahead despite losing that many units. And he does do a couple raids here, which is a little annoying, but not the end of the world. So we do our counterattack. I'm thinking, okay, maybe we can kill him right now. And then he ends up holding, obviously, as you're going to find out. And he ends up actually killing both my mangonels. And I actually, at this point, I actually thought I might be dead. I'm pretty sure I said on stream, I was like, shit, I really fucked that up. I might just be dead here. I think I said something to that degree. And then obviously, just to kind of point that out, I do have 4 military schools pumping out 4 free knights, just as an FYI as well. So I retreat, and I'm thinking, man, did I just kind of throw the game here? Or not throw the game, because I'm not going to say I was in like a, oh my god, I should win from here, but I thought I was in a better position than I was. I started mixing in Janissaries, by the way. I found lately, and I actually found this out about not that long ago. I started mixing in, when I see my opponents making cavalry, or I think they're going to make cavalry, I start mixing in some Janissaries. I never go full Janissaries because that's a bad idea. But mixing them in is really, really strong when your opponent starts adding in cavalry, because Janissaries do 43 damage to cavalry, or 40 damage to cavalry. So if you get a steady mix with crossbows, archers, and then, you know, knights and siege, you can deal with horsemen, knights, anything just fine. And that's something I've realized. Why add spears when you have Janissaries? Janissaries are a much better option. So that's what I start doing. I start mixing them in, and that's a very recent addition I've started doing, and it definitely is nice. And I actually heal my whole army here with this 1 MM. So my plan here is to just keep building my army. I mean, like I said, there's nothing too much to think about here. I do some raiding. I killed some villagers, so I knew he was on these berries. He ends up going on these berries, which I don't think he gets on them for very long. And I'm just kind of pumping my units. I have the mater unit, the meter unit, the meter. I don't know. However, I'm just going to say it how I want. I'm going to call it meter for now. We're getting Springolds because I just want to be able to deal with any of his siege. And I have free mangonels coming because I think I move out with 2 mangonels. I also got the siege ability, of course, so that my units can go in there and make them move faster and stronger. And yes, Ottomans are an insane civ. They really are really good. Okay, so I see he's on here. I'm like, okay, we're going to take this fight. And this fight went way better than I expected. He doesn't have that many cavalry units, but I do have, I think, 8 Janissaries. This fight went so fucking good for me. I take out all his siege in like seconds. He does get 1 shot off, and then just watch his army. His army just gets completely destroyed. I mean, I barely lost any units, and he went down to 14 military. I took the when this fight happened, I was pretty sure I won the game. I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure the game's over now. I absolutely demolished. I think I even said on stream, I was like, man, I just dumped that army. I mean, that was the best fight I could hope for. So I re-push, and at this point, I knew the game was over right here. Like, I killed his army again. I'm at 70 military. I've got constant unit production coming. Yeah, so I don't think... Yeah, when it came to this fight right here, I don't think he saw my siege. So I already had mine I had my Springolds already. I had 2 Springolds focus, his Springold and his and his Mangano before we even fought. So they were moving. I didn't even have to micro them because I'd already set them up, and they just did exactly as they were told. I believe elephants are considered a type of cavalry. I do believe Janissaries get a bonus versus them. And from here, the game's over. Like, there's no way he's coming back here. The only possible way Zalami comes back here is if I die of a heart attack. Because there's no way. I mean, look at our military. And there's not really too much else to talk about. We're at 180 supply, or food, whatever you want to call it. And then I just kind of focus his landmarks, and then GG. And then that is the end of that game. So that game went far better than I expected it to go. I usually struggle against Delhi, so it was really nice to kind of beat Delhi there. Only heart attack. What if the roof falls down? I think if the... Oh, man, I don't know what would happen if the internet cut out. I don't know what would... I'm fucking hoping that never happens to me. If I was in a game where I was in like that, where I won the game, the internet cut out, and I had to redo the game, I would be so fucking pissed. Ottomans overpowered, English getting undeserved hate. I don't know if I think Ottomans are overpowered, but that's because I don't play against Ottomans very often. When I play ladder or I play practice games, I don't play against Ottomans. Like, no one picks them against me, so I don't really... So when I play them, I feel really good with them. Like, they feel like such a strong civ, but no one plays them against me, really, so I don't know how I feel... I will say this. I do think they're strong. I do not think they are weak. That is the one thing I can say for sure. I do not think Ottomans are weak. I definitely think they're strong. Do I think they're overpowered? As of right now, I don't have enough data or information or playtime to know. So then we get to our series against Beytun. And this first game we play was English versus Ottomans. Now, for me, I never lose Ottomans versus English. I've beaten top players, Puppy, Wham, Divine, in this matchup as Ottomans. So as Ottomans, I feel comfortable in this matchup. As English, I do not feel comfortable in this matchup. I actually thought I was going to lose this game for sure. So I went into this game thinking, okay, this is a bad matchup. I'm probably going to lose. But whatever. Got to try what we got to try.
Actgler just subscribed.
Actgler just subscribed. Thank you very much for the Prime subscription. Glad you're enjoying the stream to throw me your free Prime for the month. Isn't Beytun like 17 or something? So, that's another thing I want to state. I know nothing about Beytun in terms of his gameplay. I've never played against the guy, or at least I don't think I have. I've never played him. I've never seen him play. I know nothing about him. I literally had zero knowledge on how he plays going into this series. I asked a couple people, hey, you guys ever played Beytun? And I was told he's very aggressive. But that was all but they were like, but I've only played him once. So I was like, okay, so one game, he's very aggressive. That doesn't really tell me enough, right? Like, you can't base a play style around one player from one game. So I was like, okay, so he's aggressive one game and at least. So in this series, I didn't know what civs to ban. I think someone told me he was an English main, so I did ban his English this game. I can't remember the other civ I banned. All I knew was I've seen him in Twitch chat, so he probably knew more about me than I knew about him. So I went into this series not knowing exactly what civs he's good with, what civs he's bad with, and so on and so forth. So in my eyes, I was at a disadvantage in this series because I know nothing about him. And I don't know if he knew anything about me or if he talked to anyone before he played. I'm not sure, but that was my thought process at this point. So we kind of go water. He actually does not go water this game. I'm guessing because he knew that I would go men-at-arms, and he can't really fight that, so he ends up not going water here. We only get one dock, though. I can't remember if I don't think I add a second dock because I was too focused on other things. So obviously I scouted that he didn't go water. I did scout his base. I scouted that he was already on gold, so I knew I was safe to go feudal age without making a barracks. Now I made this tower here so that if he tried to attack this with Spahi or something, I pop my villager in here and I'm safe. Now he did what I would have done in this matchup, and that is going fast castle. I'm a big fan of fast castle English versus Ottomans. So so I guess I should be talking about what my thought process is here. So versus Ottomans, I am very convinced. Again, this was pre-patch thought process. This might have changed with the new patch, but my thought process was I do not want to go two TCs, and I don't want a fast castle because if I let Ottomans fast castle, I'm probably going to die because he's going to go knights, he's going to go crossbows, he's going to go siege, and I'm just going to die. So that's my thought process going in here. So my plan was hoping to force him into a feudal war, but he does make 2 towers, and he doesn't get arrow slits, so I'm not able to pressure his gold, and then he ends up going fast castle. And there was no way for me to really punish it because this is very close to his town center. He's also got his sheep here. So if I even try to get close, I'm just going to get pelted by the town center. What's up? No cursing. So I'm just trying to poke and be annoying. He's obviously not close to Castle Age at this point, right? Because he did gather stone. He did make 2 military schools. And then his arrow slits finishes and he kills that villager, which was unfortunate. So looking at this game now, I do realize really quickly, I make some extra spearmen because I do know he's going to have Spahi, and I didn't want to lose this army for free. Like, I don't want to lose this to 4 Spahi. That just that'd feel really bad. So I did make sure to add in spears, but I did stop making longbows, and I started making a couple farms, and then I actually ended up saving for castle myself because at this point in the game, I realized I have no chance of killing him. He's not going to commit to a feudal war. I have to go castle. If I stay feudal, I'm just going to die in the castle age. And he uses vizier point on sheep, by the way, which is what I would have done. So I do try to make a tower here. I mean, I just did it to be annoying, deny these berries, but there's really not much I can do here. Yo, what's up, Tino? How you doing? So he's going castle age. And again, with this spot, I can't punish this. There's nothing I can do to punish this. Like, the only thing I can think of looking at this replay is maybe I could have gone here and maybe, you know, chopped through this wall and then just kind of sat right here and tried to be annoying, like to his wood line, but then he would just move here. So I really don't think there's much I can do, and I think what I did was fine. So we're going castle. He just hits castle. Obviously not very happy about that, but it is what it is. And then after this tower finishes upgrading, I pull back. And the reason I pulled back here, I don't want to lose this army. There's no reason to throw away units for free, and there's no reason to hang around here because I'm just going to commit my army to death. So I did the next best thing. I retreated. Kept my farms, made a couple walls. And then at this point, we do have a 10 villager lead. I'm actually not sure why I have such a villager lead. I know I'm on 2 TCs now, but oh wait, it's counting fishing ships, duh. I do think I probably should have made a second dock, but I never did. That's very true, Glenn. That is very true. The water really was beneficial. Unfortunately, I obviously take that. I really should have made a second dock at some point, but I never do. I think I was too worried about him potentially killing me with the castle timing. And so at this point, I do think he does make a huge mistake here, is he actually doesn't grab the relics. I end up getting 4 of the relics, which I don't think should ever happen in this matchup. So I'm just going spearman, archer with some crossbows. Hey, what's up, State? So at this point, I'm just kind of going archer or longbow, some crossbows, spears, because I know he's going heavy on the cavalry. And then I remembered, oh hey, mangonels exist. So I make this to go make some springolds. Yeah, I don't know if I look good with facial hair, but I do need to shave eventually when I'm not lazy. So my thought process here obviously is very simple. Stay here, get springolds, survive the push. Honestly, isn't this map just Mongolian Heights? No, 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 no. This map is way better than Mongolian Heights. Mongolian Heights has a big river that sucks and makes it very easy to wall. I wish I could rip out my own eyes and place them in your skull. I like it. No, this map is way better in Mongolian Heights, in my opinion. So anyway, we're kind of pulling back. You know, we don't want to engage right now, right? We just want to pull back, mass our army, get a couple springolds. We get rid of the mangonel. I feel pretty good about a fight. And I think we got most of our blacksmith upgrades. I think I do forget one of them for a little bit, but in general, we are getting our blacksmith upgrades. He's actually not doing very good on his blacksmith upgrades looking at this. He's only at, if we look at his, where's his blacksmith? He actually prioritized +1 attack over +2 armor. That was interesting. And so I'm feeling pretty comfortable to push out here, obviously. I mean, by comfortable, I feel good enough because I know I can take out his that. This fight actually goes a little better than I expected, I think. I actually, when I took this, was like, man, I think I moved out too early. But I actually take a decent trade here. I mean, he's still ahead military, right? We're 10 villagers ahead. But you got to remember, we do also have 3 relics. So we end up getting 4 relics plus a 10 villager lead. We're economically wise, we're pretty far ahead, but then he does get, I don't know how much these smiths are worth, or these military schools are worth, but pretty sure they're worth a lot. And he does actually do a really annoying thing here. He makes a tower, he kills some villagers, and I am forced into this other wood line. That doesn't end up playing actually a big deal at all. By the way, this is the first game where I make a ram out of the Siege Workshop. This was nice. I love being able to do that, actually. I was like, man, this is a nice change. It's nice being able to do that. These Ottoman styles feel so all in, he has to kill you. I think that's the best way to play Ottoman versus English, though. I think you should commit to a Castle Age, or to, like, yeah, Castle Age all in to try to kill English. His mistake, in my opinion, he made a few mistakes. One, he never made a Siege Workshop, so he never actually made any Springolds. I think this second TC is a huge mistake. I don't think he should have done this. He should have committed to his all-in. This is, in my opinion, a bad move. He should have built like a forward workshop when he had map control. You know, Siege Workshop here, add in Springolds, mass those free mangonels from here, and then you siege me down. That's how you play this matchup, in my opinion. I mean, like I said, my Ottoman versus English is really fucking good, in my opinion. Like I said, I've beaten some really good players with Ottomans in that matchup. If you have keeps, it's even stronger. That's the thing, right? We're talking without keeps. With keeps, the Ottoman castle push is even stronger because it forces English to make a trebuchet. So I think his mistake here is he never makes a Siege Workshop, he never makes any Springolds, and he just ends up dying to my push. What Blade is saying is he's #1 as Ottomans. I don't think that, by the way. No. I'm pretty sure if I played Marine Lord or Beastie, they would beat me if I played Ottomans and them English, just because they're way better than me. But we end up taking this fight, and this fight would have liked not to have lost to Mangonel did, but this fight actually went pretty well. I was very happy with this fight. I obviously take out the Knights. I'm starting to mix in Men-at-Arms as well, because there's no reason not to mix in Men-at-Arms. Man-at-Arms slash Spear against the Knights. And then at this point, like I said, he never really made a Siege Workshop. He's got 2 TCs. He's already behind by almost 20 workers. He just lost that big fight, and then at this point, I think the game ends very shortly after. And we just kind of crushed that fight, GG. So me winning this game, by the way, I felt really good. Like, I felt really, really good about winning that game. And now we go into the losses. Which, by the way, oof. There's a couple things I've thought about after these 2 games where I'm just like, man, why did I not do that? That would have been so much smarter than what I did. So, Rus versus China. Blade confirmed, says you can beat Marine Lord and Beastie as Ottoman versus English. Yep. So, I picked Rus on this map for one reason. I was thinking maybe he was going to choose HRE. That was my assumption, that he was going to pick HRE. You already checked out in your head? Nah, I never checked out. I always play my best. I play as hard as I can. So he picked China, which is I suck versus China. I cannot beat China to save my life unless they fuck up. But I actually think when I thought about this game afterwards, I realized a few big mistakes I made, which I will go over obviously here. So we're just going to kind of fast forward. We end up getting like a 270 bounty in this game, by the way. We end up doing pretty good. I was very happy with my... I was very happy with how this game played out. Or with my bounty. Do I like this map? I don't like hybrid maps in general. I don't hate this map, though. This map's better than most of the maps in the map pool. If that tells you anything. He has rabies, actually. Little known blade fact. Yep. I'm going to be dead here in a couple months. Okay, so to kind of go into my thought process at this point, I wanted to deny his second TC because he did age up slower. So I got to talk about a couple things in my thought processes here. So you'll notice I didn't go water here. I didn't go water because I didn't think it was worth it. I didn't go water because I don't think I can combat China water or their spearmen. Because what would happen here, if I go water, Beitune's going to add a barracks and he's going to pump out spearmen. And then I can try to fight that, but I don't think I can. I legitimately think that if I did that, I just get slaughtered this game. Because he'll be able to pump out way more spearmen than me because he can supervise them. And then he's just going to kill my dock and then my ships. So that was my thought process to why I didn't go water here. I kind of accepted that I can't fight him for this. So that's why I didn't go water. Is that a mistake? Maybe it is. I'd have to ask a better player than me. Like if Puppy or Wham were here, I'd be curious what their thought process, or even State. I'd be curious what their thought processes would be on if they would have gone water anyway, or if they would have done what I did. But that was my thought process. But whether that was a mistake or not, I'm not sure. State says it's a mistake, you are dead. But I just don't think I can combat water here. Maybe if I go hit Wooden Fortress, maybe it would be fine. Maybe, you know, maybe that's what I should have done here. Gone dock, gone fishing boats, but make a Wooden Fortress instead of a barracks. Would have been probably my best chance in this. Yeah, so don't pick Rus. To be fair, I didn't have many civ options, and I thought he was going to pick HRE. Let me look at something real quick. Ooh, forward Kremlin actually would have been a really good idea. That actually would have not been a bad idea. I need to look at something real quick, because I got to remember what civs I had available. So I played English, my HRE and Mongols were banned. I played Ottomans. So I had... Wait, no, I haven't played Ottomans yet. So I had Abbasid, China, Delhi, Malians, and French available. Well, I don't want to play French. I don't want to play Malians. And I don't want to play... So this is why I didn't choose Delhi. Because I did know... I thought he was going to pick HRE. But him picking China is the same thing. Although, maybe Delhi's fine against China on this map because I get water and he doesn't. I'm not sure. That's something to think about, actually. I'm not sure about that. I did think about Delhi, but the reason I didn't choose Delhi was because I thought he was going to go H or E. So that's why I didn't choose Delhi, because I thought for sure he was going to pick H or E. And this comes down to my lack of knowledge on this player. I don't know anything about him, so I just have to guess what he's going to do. So I'm thinking, okay, he's probably going to pick H or E, so I don't want to pick Delhi. I don't want to go French or Malians, so it leaves me Rus, Abbasid, and Ottomans. I haven't really played Ottomans on hybrid maps very often, so I didn't want to choose Ottomans. I could have done Chinese, and maybe I should have, but I decided not to. I kind of wish I'd picked Chinese on this map, to be honest. I think if it was versus H or E, I feel okay against H or E as China, but maybe that's just me being silly. But Delhi, I just thought, like I said, I thought he was going to go H or E, so I chose Rus because I think Rus versus H or E is a very good matchup for Rus. That's why I chose Rus. Short story, I thought he was going to go H or E. He chose China, and that sucked for me. So that's why I chose Rus. But thinking about what I could have done with this matchup, knowing what I do now, maybe making a dock and then a wooden fortress and not making a barracks would have been an okay play here. Because then I could at least deny some of the water, and he doesn't get it for free like this. So now to talk about what I think I should have done in this game from this point in the game here, is because he's trying to go Castle Age. He's not going to go 2TC. I have a scout to also check that. What I really wish I had done here was make a ram, take out the dock with the ram, and I take out 9 fishing ships that are completely useless. I have complete map control, and I think I actually probably could win the game from there. Potentially. Now, who knows how the game would have played out if I did that, but I really wish I had done that than what I do instead. Instead, I'm trying to deny his wood income, and I kill some villagers, but again, it doesn't matter. He has the water eco, and he has 3 fish. So he has 12 workers right here working their asses off, getting a lot of food. And I'm just focused right here. And I think this is a huge mistake because villager-wise, he's going Barbican, of course. If I take out his food eco, if I take out this dock right here, I mean, I think I just win. Because he doesn't have any villagers on food. I mean, he could switch to these deer, but maybe not. He definitely won't be going castle as fast as he does this game. Because imagine if I made a ram right now. I took these out. He's at 500 food. And then he's got to rely completely on his deer, which he doesn't have much eco on there. So as you're going to see here, I'm not really sure what I should be doing here because I just haven't been playing enough Rus versus China. I just suck versus China in general, but this game, when I think about it, I really fucked up so bad here. Because now he's going castle. I could have made ramps to kill this 4 minutes ago. He can't stop it. He has no way to stop it. And if he doesn't have this, it completely changes this game. Instead, he's able to get castle very quickly. And obviously, we feel very bad about this spot here. So this ends up happening, blah, blah, blah. We retreat. And then this is when I'm like, oh, wait, I can use these rams to kill the dock. Man, if only I thought about that sooner. And now, obviously, at this point, it doesn't matter because he has map control. He's got castle age units, and now he's just going to make a dock, and I'm going castle myself. So, but imagine if I do that a lot sooner. His food eco's significantly cut. So if we look at this point in the game right now, his deer are gone. He's got berries left, and a few sheep. And then he loses this water. I seriously think I would have won this game if I had done this earlier. I really do. I think this game goes a completely different direction. Because I think the way that Beitun played this was really weird, and I don't think it was the best way for him to play this matchup. And then I get really unlucky here. I'm making my second TC, and he just happens to come across it right now when it's almost done. And I'm forced to cancel it, and that hurt. So the game continues, blah, blah, blah. He's got a 30 worker lead almost. He's got a 25 worker lead. Now we win this fight, but we're only double his military, and by double it's because we're at 22. I think I only get 2 relics as well. He got 3 relics, I got 2. And then he gets the sacred sites. And he's already got his farm transition kind of on the way. His food income, I mean, if you look at his food income right now, he's at like double my food income, right? He's at 1,100, we're at 700, so not quite double, but... So, I mean, at this point, I'm just trying to kill him because I know the later the game goes, I mean, he's on 2 TC Song. I can't play this into a macro game, and I knew that, but the game was over for a while at this point. We try to do like a kind of desperate attack here. Look, he's at 111 eco. We try to attack. We end up losing. And then his eco is just so good that I can't remember. I think he hits Imperial soon, actually. And maybe I should have gone a different army composition. Like, maybe I should have been going men-at-arm crossbow instead. I don't know. I mean, at this point, we're dead, right? Like, we're really not in a good spot. Hey, what's up, Bitterlin? But either way, I think this game goes completely different. If I make a dock at 7, or if I make a ram at 7 minutes, take out this dock, I think I actually win this game. I'm very confident I would have, because he would have only had those berries, and then he only had like 4 or 5 sheep under there, and then he's out of food, and I'm easily going to deny this because his unit composition wasn't very good. I mean, again, in my opinion. Instead, he hits Castle Age, or he hits Imperial. We try to make a desperate gamble. We lose. GG. GG, no re. And then we go into the third game. And this game, right after I ended the stream, I realized, wow, I played that like I already knew I played it badly, but this goes beyond bad. Ottoman versus Rus. I haven't played this matchup as the Ottomans ever, so I didn't really think too much, and that was my problem. I go into this game trying to kill him in Feudal Age. That was the biggest mistake I could have made. Do you know what you're supposed to do? At least this is what I think. Do you know what you're supposed to do when your opponent goes 2 TC as Rus and you're Ottomans? You could do 2 TC yourself, or you could be a Giga Chad and go fast castle. That's what I needed to do. If I go fast castle, I think I just kill him, because I think by the time he gets Castle Age, I already have siege and I'm pushing him. But, so here's so I almost played this game like I was playing against actually, no, let me rephrase that. I played this game as if I'm playing against Abbasid. And now you might be wondering, why did I go military school early, even though I'm playing against Rus? It doesn't hurt. For starters, you can use these spears to deny a second TC or force the units anyway. Although, to be fair, I should have really gone over here. Isn't Rus pretty strong feudal, or did he go for feudal kill because he went 2 TC? I went for feudal kill because I wasn't thinking. It wasn't even because he went 2 TC. I was going to do it even if he went 1 TC. That's how brainless I was this game. I didn't think. Until after the game, and I was like, wait a second. Why did I do that? That was the worst strategy I could have chosen out of everything I could have done. I also think my unit composition was bad in feudal. Because again, I played this game as if I was playing against Abbasid. I just was so brainless about it. It actually hurts my brain when I think about it. I'm a new trying to understand the thought process. Yeah. No worries, man. Don't worry. That is why I'm doing this. Kind of go over my thought process into these games. So I scout the second TC, and I think this is what I thought. Of course, I was like, sweet, I can kill him with my. I'm gonna kill him even easier with my feudal all in. No. You know what I should have thought? I should have thought, okay, we're going fast castle. That's what I should have done. Because, like I said, Ottoman Castle Age is insanely powerful. And I think, and against 2 TC Roos, it's going to take him a while to get the Castle Age. And I think I could just fucking kill him, to be honest. But we don't do that. We decide to play this like we're playing against Abbasid. We make it stable. Which actually, the stable's good. Make another military school. And this is where I say I play like Abbasid. I go archers, spear. I go 1 barracks for spears, couple archery ranges for archers, 1 this for a mater, whatever, and a spahi. When in reality, if I wanted to do a feudal attack, I probably should have gone heavy on spahi spearmen. Would have been the better decision, I think. Because I do scout that I see he ends up going archer knight, and spahi spearman will destroy that composition when you get a big enough mass of spears in spahi. And so we kind of scout the 4 archery ranges. We see that he's making knights. And I'm going for a ram push here. But what problem do you think we have? So this is the big problem, right? So we have 9 spahi. We have 6 spears, and we have 9 archers. He's got 14 archers. He just has to focus down 6 spears, and then his knights counter everything else. To be fair, I actually think I also overcommitted here too. I way overcommitted here, and I lost a lot of units. And I lost all these gold villagers, which was really bad. You think if he goes 2 TC, you go 2... I disagree, Core. I don't think I should go 2 TC. I think going fast castle is much better, and I'll give my reasons to why I think fast castle is better. I can grab all the relics. I also get knights, and then I can just kill them. But like I said, my whole strategy of this game was really, really bad. You might have missed it, Core, but I already said I was being brainless this game. I played this game as if I was playing against Abbasid. I didn't think. I just went into autopilot as if I knew what the best strategy was. I didn't actually think about it. That was the problem, which is why I lose this game. I mean, at this point, the game's over. He's because he just has such an archer mass that he ends up taking ours out. And we didn't have a spahi mass, and we just kind of left the game because we were dead. So against greedy, you go for fast castle instead of aggression. Yeah, I mean, going fast castle is kind of greedy if you think about it, right? If you go no units fast castle, you're hoping your opponent's not going to do anything to punish that. And then that was the series. So that was my big mistake in Dry Arabia. I just didn't think. He can't go castle as fast as I can, though, Core. Like I said, I disagree with you, Core, but that's... I think we're just going to disagree on the way to go. Later, no cursing. Hopefully you have a fantastic night. May you sleep like a baby. A baby lion. I'm eliminated from this week's Golden League. The next round I'm in. I am not a baby. So my next Golden League match isn't until, what's the date actually for that? So it's not this weekend or next weekend. My next match is the 4th. So March 4th is my next match. So I have 2 weeks to kind of chill. So yeah, so overall, what are my thought processes on this series? I actually thought I played pretty well in most of the games. The only series, in terms of gameplay, I was disappointed in my first game. I don't think I played that well. Um, and then my last game, I don't think I played that well. I played that stupid. That was one of the dumbest things, one of my dumbest games in terms of what I did. But every other game I played, I felt pretty happy with my performance. Like overall, I was pretty happy with my performance. I actually made it. To be honest, I actually thought I was going to lose to Dark. Wait, Blade, did you say you're still in Golden League? Yeah, there's 3 rounds of Golden League, so I'm still in. I'm just not going to be next weekend. Chill off? You mean 2 weeks to grind? That's true. 2 weeks to grind the 12 villagers while the players who have to play next week don't get to grind practice that yet. Yeah, so we'll be playing again in 2 weeks. But overall, like I said, I was pretty happy with my performance, and in every game series I played, even the games I lost, I didn't feel like I lost because my opponent was, oh my god, he's just so much better than me. I lost because I just made some crucial mistakes that I don't think I should have made, or I made that various things. Like my strategy on Cauldron, I think was, when I look at it now, I'm like, man, and even after that game, if I just ram down the dock at 8 minutes, that game goes completely differently because he doesn't have the food eco to get castle. And then in the Dry Arabia, if I just do fast castle, I think I can kill him with a knight / archer Jan's siege push. I think I can just mostly, and maybe not. Like I said, hard to say. That's always theory crafting. But I know as Roos, when I've played against Ottomans and I go 2 TC Roos, it feels very, very hard to fight Ottomans because their castle is just so strong when they fast castle. So thinking about it, I really wish I had done that. They buffed Abba just to buff its counter English even more. True. How far did I make it? I think I placed top 32. I believe is what I placed, was top 32. Let me look. It should say on there. Well, I guess it doesn't say, but oh wait. Yeah, it does. So I placed between 25th and 32nd. So yeah, I placed top 32 is what I placed in the tournament. Which, frankly, I actually think I should have gotten top 24. I really do think I should have beaten Baytune. But that is what it is. We made some really big mistakes in these two, but the nice thing is I did learn from it, so I kind of know not to make those same mistakes again. So hopefully, now the next round is going to be very different, right? It's 12 villager start, and I have played with it a little bit, and the game does play very different. So I'll be curious how it goes. I would not be surprised, by the way, to see upsets in the next